Today's adventure on our trip around Australia takes us to Alice Springs in the Northern Territory, where we will visit the West MacDonnell Ranges. With our trusty MUX and Jayco caravan in tow, we checked into the awesome Discovery Park Alice Springs and went straight for the water slide. The next day we started our day adventure of the West MacDonnell Ranges. Our first of 5 must-visit stops is Standley Chasm.
As we walk along the path, you can't help but admire the vibrant contrast between the rugged red rock and lush green cycads which have survived in this environment thanks to a small but steady flow of water. These ancient cycads are from the Jurassic Era of dinosaurs and are an ancient relic from a cooler and wetter climate when Australia was covered by rainforests and large inland sea. They have been isolated in this region for millennia in refuges within the MacDonnell Ranges, with its nearest relative being found over 1,400 kilometres away. This natural wonder has been forming for the past 500 million years from when the MacDonnell Ranges were formed. Back then, these ranges were possibly as high as the Himalayas. The narrow gap formed by rushing floodwaters over thousands of years created an alleyway through walls of rock that reaches up to 80 meters in height.
Our next stop was the ochre pits. Ochre is a type of clay and occurs in a range of earthly colours, ranging from white through to yellow, orange, red and browns. It is an important part of Aboriginal culture and is used in everyday and ceremonial life. It is a raw material for paintings and ceremonial body decorations. Weapons were painted with ochre to increase the success of hunting and to protect the wooden weapons from termites. Red ochre was mixed into an ointment to relieve decongestion, and white ochre used as a magical charm. The furthest point away from Alice Springs is our next stop, Goss's Bluff Meteorite Crater.
Here we are standing where the comet landed. As you see around us, this is all the rock that got pushed up.
The crater was created approximately 140 million years ago when a huge meteorite struck Central Australia, leaving one of the largest impact craters in the world. Rising 180 meters above the desert, the crater is an outstanding 6 kilometers in circumference. But that is only what has remained after millions of years of erosion. The original outer crater was around 25 kilometers in diameter, and the energy of the impact would have been around 200,000 times that of the nuclear bomb dropped on Japan. As well as devastating thousands of square kilometers around the impact, it is believed it would have been felt globally. Our next stop was Almiston Gorge. Almiston Gorge would have been a great place for a cool dip and the natural pool with the towering red cliffs of the gorge, but on the day that we visited, it was only 16 degrees and a bit too cold for a swim. so we took some photos instead. After a short visit, we headed off to our last stop in the West MacDonnell Ranges, Simpson's Gap. Simpson's Gap is a stunning gorge carved out of the West MacDonnell Ranges by Roe Creek, where water flows through a small gap in the range.
Here we are at Simpson's Gap and we have it all to ourselves.
Make sure you subscribe if you want to join us for our next Nikitan family adventure.